Hey guys, Nyisha here, just an average girl, and welcome back to another Campfire tutorial. So today we will be working, as I promised, on characters. And for those of you who have known in the previous 2 episodes, you saw that I mentioned that I changed, things around for Little Red Riding Hood. I decided to, kind of make it a nice little fantasy novel. And just, I changed it to red, and I already created the characters, and we're going to establish a little more on species by, creating a species page. Now, I'm just going to tell you now, both characters and species are pretty much the same thing, just different titles. But what I'm going to do is we're just going to go over the panels that come with them, because literally what I'm going to work on for characters, you can do on species by yourself. Let's go ahead and explore characters. Now, if you have the free version, if you haven't noticed, over here it says 2 out of 10. When you have the free version, that's how many characters you are allowed to create. Same with species. You only have up to 5. But when you subscribe or when you decide to purchase the program, you can have and create as many characters and species and a lot of other elements as you would like to. So just a little note, again, if 10 characters or 5 species is enough for you, then the free version's for you. If you feel that you need to create more to establish your story and your world building, I would suggest that you invest in subscribing to them or in regards to purchasing their program. Again, I am in no affiliation with them and I am not sponsored by them. I just really love this program. This has been a help for me, especially as a pantser, so who's trying to learn to be a plotter. Let's go ahead and go with my character. The reason why it's blank, I didn't want to surprise you with the character now. I kind of just wanted to do a little reveal. So let's go ahead and go to the overview page, and I'm going to show you what I did. All right, so this is Red Riding Hood, or Ayuna, which technically is red, I believe, in Japanese. And so this is my profile sheet for my character. Everything from miscellaneous attributes, physical traits, personal traits, links, bio, and just basic information about our character, as well as a little image. Now, let's see, what I also did is for Zev, this is pretty much more for people who, again, are into like D&D and want to build their characters. I kind of did a small little character sheet. Again, I know nothing about D&D. I only listen and watch Critical Role and Dimension 20, but I don't know how to play it. So forgive me if the layout is not up to par. I just used whatever I could find on the internet and kind of, made something quick. If I wanted to be more detailed, I could have, but I just want to use this as an example to show you what you, the individual, are capable of. So let's check on Zev. All right. So just like I said, I have the basic information about Zev. I created a skills list, a short bio, his personality traits, links, and his stats. Again, if I want to do more, I can by adding panels. And what we're going to do is we are going to just have a quick overview on creating characters. All right, so I'm going to hover over to characters, and I'm going to go click on that plus sign. Okay, and by doing that, we have just created a brand new character sheet, or a character panel. So this is everything that automatically comes when you create a new character: bio, basic information, physical, personal traits, image, statistics, and links. If you feel like all of this isn't what you want, as I stated, you can create your own. So let's create another page. I'm going to go over to overview. I already clicked on new page, and here is page 2, and this is what it looks like. So if you want to create a template for yourself, let's just go ahead and call it template. And now we're going to take a look at the different panels that come with this. All right. Text panel is free text. You can make that into your bio. List. You are literally creating a list of what you want. And just with the plus sign, see? Item name and description. That's what the list is. Stats. This is pretty much for those who are into D&D. This is where you can create your stats right here. Once again, plus sign, and you can create your stats with the units. If you do not want your units to be visible, once again, you go to the 3 dots, left click, and you hide the units. It shows you just the number and number alone. Table. This is what I did for Zev when I wanted to create the table that had the skills. So again, you just calculate based on what you want, and you can create your table. Think of this as the Excel sheet for Microsoft Excel. Gonna put that there. Image panel. Once again, this is where you go, and if you have a character design, this is where you would go, and just like we did with the banner, you would select images and it takes you to your profile. It takes you to the folders that we created for our character sheets. Links. The purpose of link panels is when you want to connect your characters to have a relationship with each other, that's pretty much what it is. So I'm going to show you. I'm going to go ahead and add link. And so here are the characters that we have created, including species. So I have Ayuna. Pretty much with this character that we're working on, we're going to create the grandmother. So they've automatically selected red, and we're going to type in, who, the reason why they're linked together. And I'm going to put in Zev as well. So we are going to select these two as that the grandmother is linked to. And in the description, I'm going to type in granddaughter. There we go. Sorry about that. And I'm also going to put in protagonist. All right. So with that, you will find out further into the future when we work on relationships and the timelines, how we can connect these guys even further. Last but not least, attributes panel. Attributes, once again, also help in creating the personality, the different tropes of your character. And here you can create you could create little switches based off of the character's attributes. For example, let's say that instead of writing out their charisma, you can actually have a bar that expresses their charisma, their demeanor, their personality, all of that stuff. So let's click and I will show you. So here are the different selections that you have. Again, if you are into D&D, attributes for games, as I said before, you have everything here from armor class, durability, agility, perception, initiative, speed, ammunition, all of that stuff. As you can see, I've checked them off, and we're going to confirm the changes, and we're going to see what happens. So as you can see, it has created units that you can type in, and you can manually put it in yourself. If you do not want to put that in there, you can look at personalities. And here are the sliders. For example, seeing that we're working on the grandmother, let's click on honesty. Let's click on observant. And let's go with thinking. So by clicking on these guys, I'm going to scroll all the way down. And as I said before, now I have a slider that lets you know how much they are honest, how observant they are, and how, their thinking skills are like. So you have the ability to, just create a bar and a slider to show their strengths and their weaknesses that way. So that's what you can do in the attributes panel. In a way, when you think about it, it's kind of like basic information and the text panel, because the text panel, I can type anything I want in here. Again, I can create a list here and have potions describe that cure wounds, statistics, once again, the strength. Yeah. And I can say that their strength is a +3 and, so on and so forth. So this is everything in, let's see, animal handling. We could say that is a +2. So see what I did there? I just went and created pretty much my skills panel right here. So this is everything that you would want when creating your characters, whether it's for D&D, whether it's for you, the writer who wants to create a world building atmosphere for your story. So like I said, we're going to be working on grandma. I'm just going to go ahead and work on creating the grandmother as if I was a writer. And then what we're going to do is for the species, I'm going to do species as if I was going to create a D&D monster. I'm going to go back with what they gave me. And because again, everything is already set in place and I can just customize how I want it. And again, I can rearrange how I want things to be. Usually when as a writer, I don't need statistics because again, this is just for my story and for my story alone. So the 3 buttons are your option, like your option menu. So I'm going to left click and I'm going to go to delete panel because I don't need it. But if for whatever reason I need it, I could just simply go to add panel and get my stat panel back. So let's call her an old woman. And I've also have a picture for her. So let's go ahead and upload that picture right now. So under image, I'm going to go ahead and select image. And then as you can see, I have her right here. So I'm going to go ahead and click on here. And again, it looks small, but remember what we did with the banner? We went to the 3 dots, we went to add imaging, and there we go. So, and seeing that I don't want her down here, I can bring her up so that way she is visible. We can change the name here. Siofra. And I'm going to move the bio with the arrows over here. I'm going to move it further down because, or actually, we can put it right next to her. All right, so we have created our Sephora, and we're going to just go ahead and fill in this information. Okay, so we're sticking with the country Evermore because I just came up with that. Place of residence, it is the Feylands. Of course, she is a woman. Now, this is the information that they've already given me, formal education. In this world, there is none. So I'm just going to, once again, 3 dots, give me the option. I'm going to go ahead and delete that attribute because it's not, necessary. Here, if we could want to give her an occupation, we can, but I mean, she's just a little old lady that lives in the woods. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that. Now, let's say I want a little more detail. I'm going to go to the plus sign. We are in, because this, like I said, pretty much basic information is the attributes panel that we saw earlier. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to basic information, click on there. We need to know her age. If I want to know her astral sign, again, you can go into all details. They have what you are looking for, and if not, you can add it yourself. If you want to go a little further, you could just click on these and see how it has created a shortcut. This is pretty much your tags. They have created tags for you to make it easier to select what it is that you are looking for. So again, take your time. I'm just trying to do this tutorial to kind of speed things up, but you who has created a free account, take your time and look over the options that they have, so that way it helps you to figure out who your character is and what you would like them to do. Let's see, I think under physical traits I will find, let's go to appearances for example. No. Biology. There it is. Height and weight is under physical traits. So let's put in the height and weight. And I'm going to leave the rest of the stuff here because what I'm really looking for is, like I said, basic information. Anything else, whether it's eye color, any other descriptions, I'm going to leave it under physical traits. So I'm going to pretty much do that here. Personality traits, we can type whatever we want on here. And then of course, bio, just a short little backstory. Okay, so let's say that she is, well, actually, what I wanted to do with the story, because again, this is just like Little Red Riding Hood with a twist. She is actually a fae creature. And so in human form. And what I did was that, which pretty much technically makes our red half fae. She has inherited fae capabilities, abilities, powers, and all that stuff through the bloodline. So our grandmother's a fae creature. So let's say she is 1,000 years old. But you're not going to know that, of course, until you read the story. So even though her name is Siofra, we could just call her Sio. Or actually, Grandmother Sio. That's her nickname. And so I just pretty much created a new tag. Her primary language is English, but we're going to go with Fae. Let's see. I'd say she's about a good 5 feet. Let's say she weighs 115 pounds. So we'll just stop there. So pretty much that's all the basic information we want to know. Again, if we want to add more, you just click on that plus and we just select whatever attributes. Let's check out her physical traits. Now for her physical traits, what we're going to do is we are going to they gave me a list. Now I could, with this list, create, what I want for her to what physical traits that I want her to have, or I can just create an attributes panel and just let it do it for me instead of me just filling it out. So again, 3 dots, delete panel. We're going to add panel, go to attributes, and we are going to create our own physical attributes, physical traits. Okay, so here I'm going to go ahead and go to manage attributes, and we are going to focus on her physical traits. We can describe her clothing. We can describe her hair color. Let's see, let's do her hairstyle. Actually, let's go with, hairstyle. Let's see what that looks like, because if you notice on the right hand side, it's multi-text, meaning that it's going to give me several options, like, to select from. If we want to do eye color, we can, and we can pick what color her eyes are. So that way, in case we want, to be descriptive, we know what color her hair is, or her eyes are. Let me see. If we want to do skin condition, skin type, let's check that out, see what that is. Species. Like I said, she is a fey creature, so we will actually, I can put species under bio, or I could put species under the basic information, so I'm going to uncheck that, and I will do that. So, let us also go into the magic and martial arts abilities. So I want to select fantastical conditions and supernatural abilities. And let's go ahead and just work with that. And let me show you what that's all about. So hair color. Here we are, blank canvas. We're going to click on this little square here, and it's going to give us our color swatch. We know that she has gray hair, so we can kind of color it a little bit, find that color that we're looking for. Unfortunately, there's no eye drop, and that is something that you can ask the developers if that is what you're looking for. But let's just go ahead with hair color, and we'll go with that to be as close as possible. Hairstyle. We could either select or type in, just like what we did for the country. So let's see, disheveled, fringe, highlights, layered, mullet, natural. Okay, so these are the options that they have given us when it comes to hairstyle. Let's not go there because she's not disheveled, and she doesn't have extensions or anything like that. So let's go with natural. So natural hairstyle, eye color. From the looks of this picture, it looks light blue. So we can either select here, or we can kind of customize the eyes just a little more. Go with that. Okay, let's try out skin type. Let's see, aging. Okay, so we can go with that, aging skin type. Okay, let's go and take a look at the fantastical conditions. Blessed, we can do that. supernatural abilities. These are, let's see, earth manipulation. Let's say that she has the power to create. And again, if I want to add more, I just go back down to the down arrow and see what other stuff that she has. Now, let's say omnipresent, omnipotence. We can give her that because, you know, she's all seeing, all knowing. It is something that she has developed over time, as she became the, you know, as she pretty much rules that land. And let's see what else they have. Let's go with healing. So I'm just going to go ahead and go with these three. And again, you can select as much as you want. So that way, again, instead of just typing it out, they have it for you. Let's see. Personality traits. Now here, this is what I like to do because based on Save the Cat, I created when it came to my characters, what I like to do was I started working on putting in like just different things like what is the character's problem and flaws, their wants and goals and needs and life lessons. So for personality traits, we're just going to go ahead and do that right now. Okay, so from here, we can just describe what her story is in all of this. So what does she want? For example, let's say, now the thing is, for the werewolves, I haven't come up with a name because the thing is, the problem over there in the Feylands is that there are werewolves there that are trying to dominate that realm by, expanding their pack and trying to find a way to take the magic from this land. And so she's going to need help, and that's where Red's going to come in. And so we'll just go with that against the werewolves. Again, I'm not going to fill in the rest of this stuff. This is just for a practice for the tutorial. But pretty much this is just the basic thing that you want to do yourself. Again, explore, and feel free to find out what to create for your character when you are as a writer, so you can establish. Now, let's say, for example, I wanted to write that she is actually Queen of the Feylands. She is Queen of the Feylands, but has chosen to hide her immortal form in the guise of an old woman to fool the alpha, who is looking to devour her and gain the control of the Feylands. Okay, so yes, so here we have, again, this is pretty much what just a quick bio. And as you can see, I have written something that, let's say, I don't want my audience to know. So here is a fun little thing that, again, I love Campfire for. Once again, let's go back to the 3 dots. We're going to click on here. See where it says panel visibility? I can hide from viewers and I can hide from everyone. So let's click on everyone. And as you can see, an eye with a slash over it has now appeared. So if I was to go online, you're not going to see this. So let me show you what it looks like.